Hey, how's everyone doing? Let's get this clipped on. It's always so awkward to place this clip when you're wearing a turtleneck. So we have a whole bunch of new things going on right now. This is the first time I've ever made a springtime vlog. I've never vlogged in the spring, and if you have a look through my videos, you'll see that this is typically a time where I'm kind of taking a break from YouTube, but never sort of followed myself through these months. And the other thing that's going on is I haven't been feeling myself. This is the first time also that I've started vlogging after lunch. I usually start in the morning. I just wasn't feeling it today. I sat down and thought about it, and I think I understand why. I think I love the springtime. I love hearing the bird song. I love the extra sunshine. I love listening to the trickling sound of the snow melting. I touched upon this in my last vlog, but I don't like spring that much. This is the season of rejuvenation, pastel colors, Easter, more sun, flowers spring back to life. But the thing is, I live in Toronto, and it's really mucky here for a long time. It's nice when you look up because it's bright, the sky is lovely, but when you look down, it's muddy, it's gray. There's a lot of dirt still on the streets because I live in the city. Hasn't been cleaned off yet. The rain has not been strong enough to wash it away. It looks gross. And I always think I'll feel better than I do in the springtime. Now, does that resonate with you? You just think, oh, the winter's over, my problems are gone. And you realize the problems you had 2 months ago, you're still having those problems. It's just now you've got a layer of sunshine on it, which is nice, but it's not a cure-all for everything. I burned my forehead. Burned my forehead with a curling iron the other day, and it hurt quite a lot. And it left a little scar there. So I am like just putting cream on it as best I can, kind of covering it, and it's flaking off, and that was painful. I haven't given myself a burn with my curling iron probably in 20 years, so I was probably distracted. It has been a rough start to the season for me. Anyway, on the upside, I continue to get some cool PR packages from people, and I'll show you the latest one that I got that I was surprised. I didn't even know it was on this list. It's behind me here. This is the brand Remedy by one of the doctors from the Doctorly channel, and it's Dr. Shaw, I think. Let me look in here. Yeah, Dr. Shaw. Sorry for the background noise. That's just the dishwasher doing its thing. So I vaguely remember being asked if I wanted to try out this remedy for dark spots, and of course I do because I have dark spots. It says it's an all-in-one treatment to fade dark spots, and I think that this is a retinol-based product, or maybe it's this one because they sent me this one as well. It's called Remedy for Aging. Let's just open the box on this, see what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, I vaguely remember it, but it was a while ago now, and then they sent me this other box, which I'm going to show you. I'm loving now that they're using this tube where you twist this and then it pops up. I think that's so fun, and it's much easier to travel with. You don't have to worry about the cap falling off. When I run low on some of my other skincare, because I have a lot of skincare right now that I'm working through, I will give this a try and let you guys know. I'm hopeful for this one. This one I care a lot less about, but I'll try it. Remedy for Aging. These are definitely something that I would be interested in using, but then I got this other thing, which I guess is their newest release. Maybe they were just thinking they were sending these so they'd send me this much bigger PR package as well. And this is Remedy for Dandruff, introducing our groundbreaking dandruff shampoo. So dandruff for me, I don't have a dandruff really, but not to name names, but other people in my family do, so they might benefit from it. Apparently this stuff here has salicylic acid, ketoconazole, optimized pH, and fragrance free. What is this though? Is this a shampoo? No, I think it's just a treatment that you drop on your hair, much as, you know, I use Rogaine. It would probably be something like that. And then what else is in here? A deep scalp massager. Do you guys know that I've changed the way that I say the word scalp? I used to say scalp, which is kind of the more Canadian way of saying it, but then I'd have so many people just ragging on me on my channel. I just sort of subconsciously started changing the way I say it so I could be more readily understood, which I probably shouldn't admit to, but now, now I've said it, the info's out there. Okay, it's one of these things where you can kind of get in there. Oh, that feels nice. Okay, cool. That's nice and ergonomic, and I like that it's got this masculine navy blue. And then what is this thing in here? Wi-Fi microscope. What's that all about? Results you can see. So I guess you're supposed to go in on your scalp and have a look with this cool Wi-Fi microscope. And I probably won't be looking at that because it will probably make me nauseated, which we don't want. So that was a fun little PR package. And I have an update about another cream that I've mentioned. I'll keep that real quick in case you missed those vlogs. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. It's this Ursa Major cream, which I've really been liking, but I'm not gonna be the content creator that tries to sell you on every single product that I like a little bit. It's perfectly good, but it is much like Welita's, I think it's called Superfood. They have a moisturizer like that. It even smells like it. It smells like Welita products. It really reminds me of them. But I like to keep this one downstairs because there's always some part of me that just needs a little touch up during the day. Hands get dry. I just have to have this in the kitchen. If I didn't have this, then I would bring down a little amount of Lubriderm lotion because I like to re-moisturize during the day. And I've just given my Hunter wellies a bit of a wash off and just letting them dry, but I won't leave them in the sun too long because that's terrible for the rubber, which is already really deteriorating because they're like 16 years old. They're very old. I think I got them before I even had Killian. I've had them for such a long time and they're still perfect for the spring, but they're not great in the winter because they're very cold. The rubber wicks up the cold from the ground, so they're more of a springtime, fall kind of footwear. I'm just making myself a little tea because I'm desperate for a pick-me-up this afternoon. So just gonna boil my Kosori kettle. I love this kettle, it's insulated. So that means after you boil it, it stays hot for a long time, which I like because sometimes I forget that I boiled it. Then when I walk back 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh yeah, I was making a tea. The water's still hot, I don't have to boil it again. Or if I do wanna put it on the boil, it doesn't take very long. Comes back up to temperature really quickly. So let me just pour myself some tea here. This is a funny story, but before I met my husband, I had no idea people did anything else other than pour water over an instant tea bag. Like I had no clue that they would have an actual teapot, put the tea bags in, you know, swish hot water in the teapot first before you put anything in it to heat it up, and then put it on the actual stove with tea in it and cook it a bit on the stove. I didn't even know that that was a thing because where I come from, it's just like instant tea, and I'm Chinese as well, so that is kind of instant tea as well, but it's loose inside the teapot, but there is no like stovetop brewing of the tea. I never started doing that though because I'm lazy, and when I want tea, I want it within minutes. So I love that they have rituals like that where they take stuff like that seriously though. I just don't do that. But anyway, I kind of debated what story time I was going to get into in this vlog, and I'm still not sure if this is a good idea. And I think you probably know what it is because I'll probably write what it is I'm talking about in the title. But you know, I feel like I have a lot of chill energy, so it's probably now as good a time as any to have a nice little story time. I lost my job. I lost it slowly, I lost it steadily, and now AI has put the nails in the coffin and it is dead. I'll tell you a bit more about it and why I'm so sanguine about it. Like, I'm really not upset about it. That's the honest truth. I'm having the tea now that's been brewed for a couple of minutes, or steeped, I should say, and Lotus Biscoff cookies. I'm late to the game with these. They're so good. And I know that people put them on like donuts and find all kinds of creative uses, turn them into like the crust of pies. I'm late to the game. So Team Biscoff, especially if you dunk it in the tea, so good. So I wasn't fired or anything like that. This has just been the slow and steady accumulation of what I'm going to call the degradation of print media culture over the past decade. I started seeing the writing on the wall for my writing career because I am a freelance journalist, lifestyle journalist is what I like to call myself, and I have been since I was 25. But when TikTok really became a thing, when YouTube really started becoming a thing, and I started myself spending so much more time proportionate to the time I was reading other things like magazines, and of course when I got a smartphone, I spent so much more time on that smartphone suddenly than I was spending reading magazines like I used to when I would sit on the subway and I would see nobody having a magazine in their hands anymore. Everybody had a smartphone and they were reading that instead, or playing games or whatever on their phone. I knew the writing was on the wall even back then. So I know I talk about being a work from home mom. Oh, a lot of like shadows are happening there. Hopefully that's not too distracting. That's from the cars passing by with their reflections off of them, or like their headlights or whatever hitting the walls. The type of writing that I specialize in, and I know I don't talk about this all that often, is something called service writing. That's what it's called. That's journalism lingo, or magazine journalism lingo. I write a lot of roundups of things, right? So I might write a story like the 20 best places to go for dim sum in Toronto. In fact, that was the most recent story that I wrote. And honestly, not to toot my own horn here, but I probably was one of the top magazine journalist service writers in the country. I did it all the time. I was very good at it. I had a column. I wrote this kind of stuff every month. I just had so much practice, and I was very reliable. I still am. You know, if I have a deadline, I get to the deadline. If I have a word count, I hit the word count. Anyway, all of that has really been changing lately. Just the things that you would have read before, people are watching a TikTok and getting that information. Or now they're just Googling it, and Google doesn't even serve the article anymore. It just gives the generative AI blurb, or if you go to ChatGPT, it can give you the article that it would have taken me a while to write, right? Hours to write. it can give it to you in 15 seconds, you know. It's not always accurate. There's not a lot of personal flavor or anecdotes or real life experience in ChatGPT often, but you know, it is improving. So with all that said, I knew that this would happen. I saw this coming. As soon as ChatGPT started becoming a thing, I was one of the first people to have heard about it. I remember this clearly because everybody I would talk to had no idea what I was talking about. And I was like, this is the death of my career. It really is. Service style writing for me makes up such a small percentage of the money that I make now. Luckily, I saw the writing on the wall. I was able to pivot to video, and I have other sources of income too. And so even though that type of writing is not something I do that much more of, magazine writing is pretty much a dead career path for me. I do have other things that keep me afloat, which are pretty boring. I'm not going to go through them all here. But despite this happening, because I saw it coming so far in advance, I was able to sort of plan financially, which maybe we'll talk about more in another video. But suffice it to say, my actual career since I was 25 is dead, gone, RIP. Oh no, look what happened to my boots. Honestly, if this position of my boots doesn't sum it all up, I don't know what does. It's a vibe. My latest favorite subject matter has been lavender. I started out with this lavender pot and this leaf. And then I moved on to making this study, and then I got at the expensive paper, and this is my favorite one so far. So much so that I just have it propped up here just to enjoy it. I just wish it was lavender season already. It's like one of my favorites. I'm gonna plant lavender this year. We had the worst traffic you can imagine getting here. We never come here at rush hour, but it could not be avoided today. Just have to pick up a few crucial things, then it'll be time to eat. It's always busy. This is Canada's most busy Costco. It's just a steady stream of people, no matter the time of day. Okay, it's not as bad as it seemed. I'd give this busyness level maybe a 6 out of 10. Like normally you have to trickle down these lanes so slowly. Goal is to get out as quickly as I can. This is how they get you though. Tiramisu. $23.99. They changed it. It used to be more like a long cake format. Now it's in this square container. That's not nearly as nice. Then the tuxedo cake, which is my favorite one, which is $19.99. Biscoff cream cake. Weren't we just talking about this? We were. So I guess we're getting this one. This is my husband's favorite, but back when it was a cake shape, not this square, but anyway, now they're calling it a scoop cake. Nobody is in line for the chicken today. That's new. They cost $7.99 here. I don't actually like these. I don't think they're very good. I do usually like to grab a quinoa salad though, but it has to be fresh, so I'm always looking at those packaged on dates. And I'm not seeing one from today, and then sometimes you gotta be the person who kind of looks underneath. Because this salad has a peak of like 2 days, and it's not very good after that, so you kind of need to get going on eating it when you do buy it. Ground beef quesadillas, around $25, but there's only 4 in there, but the hugest quesadillas you can imagine. And then I get sometimes these chicken tacos, but I don't know that I'm gonna get them today. Manchego cheese, this is my favorite, and I think I might get some today. It's $18. I love these really big grapes that are really crunchy, so I think I'm gonna get some. They're $8.89. I forgot to get dish tabs for the dishwasher, so now I've got to make the hike, and it is a hike back to the beginning of the store. Here we are, $14.99. It's just the Kirkland one, which is the one I always get. I don't know what's going on. This is the least busy I've ever seen the checkout, but that's because we often have to come during busy times. Okay. Mood is also suddenly lifting because we're leaving now. Yay! Time for dinner. Dinner is going to be none other than the famous Jollibee Filipino fast food chain that is so good. The chicken sandwich is the best anywhere. Better than Shake Shack, better than Chick-fil-A. It's the best one. But where did the bee go? He used to be right here. Oh, I think he's on the inside. Let's look. There he is. So cute. When the sign flips over, you're going to see there's poutine here now, which is a Canadian dish with gravy and cheese curds. That's really good, but I'm not getting that. Patiently waiting for my spicy chicken sandwich to be made. Fried chicken is good here. Mashed potatoes are good here. If you have a Jollibee near you and you haven't tried it, you gotta get on it. Even if you don't get the spicy sandwich, so you're not into spice, just get the regular chicken sandwich. It's fried and it's like nice and thick. It's like a real piece of chicken breast. I'm trying to take my mulberry purse out a bit more often because I take out my Le Pliage so often that my other ones are collecting dust. I'm trying to make a good effort in using this. What I love about it though is it's got the crossbody strap, which makes it great for when you're shopping. All right, food has arrived. That's my mashed potatoes. This is Niall's large fries, I think. This is Killian's small fries or medium fries. Spicy chicken, and spicy chicken deluxe. All right, here we go. Mashed potatoes.
Can't wait.
All right, would everybody in this car like to give their opinion on Jollibee?
Jollibee was really good. My fries came in a little bit lukewarmish, and you know how I am.
Niall sends back food that's not hot enough.
They redeemed themselves and much more by giving us a massive, like they give for sure more fries than they normally would, and they were like really, really good. I really like the sandwich. I think you've made the point that the amount of chicken they give you is massive. It's like bulging out of the sandwich. I got the deluxe version. Spicy. I love the crunch of the jalapeno. You can feel them like crunching.
Yeah, you can. That's right.
Yeah, like these little cute little baby jalapenos. God knows where they get those from. And,
They're jalapenos that they slice. They're fresh.
Never seen them that small. They're like
they're normal sized.
Yeah,
they're normal sized. And then Killian, I won't film you, but do you want to pipe in from the back there? What did you think?
The chicken sandwich was good, delicious, along with the fries and even the mashed potatoes.
Yeah. And your favorite thing is probably dipping in that gravy. All right, everybody. So that was a hit. So this is $200 worth of Costco groceries and not a single dinner among it, all just random things. Toilet paper, made in Canada. Paper towel, made in Canada. These were always made in Canada just because Canada has a lot of paper. It's now evening. I've got myself some of these Globe grapes. I swear I do more in life than eat all the time, but this has been kind of a food-centric vlog so far, hasn't it? So let's see. These are from Peru. Crunchy, delicious, sweet. Tiramisu I'm less certain about. I mean, this is a bit more authentically how a tiramisu is made. It doesn't have layers in it like a cake because it's made out of biscuits, right? That you dip in the espresso to soften them. But what I forgot is how I kind of dislike that they're messy looking, and when you dig into them, they're kind of sloppy, like trifle. But let's see what the flavor is like. Not bad. I'm not a tiramisu connoisseur. It's not one of my favorite things to eat, but this one's okay. It's not too sweet, and I like that. Much heavier on the creamy sort of mascarpone element though. Good flavors, nicely balanced. It doesn't have the chewing sensation you get out of the actual cake because this much more melts in your mouth. So I'm just gonna sit down, do a bit of drawing, watch a bit of YouTube. We'll see you in the morning or the afternoon, just depends on how I feel tomorrow. Not sure that I explained my own awareness of losing my job that well, so here goes again. My first inkling that things were gonna go wrong was when I saw that people were using their smartphones a lot. Then I saw TikTok, I was like, uh-oh. Then I saw ChatGPT a few years later and I was like, oh, it's gonna be dead now. Well, good morning. I woke up to a nice, bright, sunny day. I've been up for a long time now. It's still early, but I've been up at 6 because, like I said in the last vlog, I have not completely readjusted to Canadian Toronto time zone. My body still thinks it's back in Europe. Started off this morning with some fresh bagels from What a Bagel, Toronto style bagels. And then the other thing I did was I had to go back downstairs and get my moccasins back out of storage because I always do this. I'm like, it's warm now. I don't need my winter moccasins. Then my feet are freezing. I do this every year. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just like so optimistic it's gonna be nice and warm and I'm gonna feel warmer, and then that doesn't happen. Decided to do a bit of a reverse work day in that I like to usually work in the morning and then have the afternoon or later afternoon free, but I'm gonna switch it up today just because it's so nice right now. I wanna make sure that I get the best out of the day. I'm gonna do my errands and then I think I'll work in the afternoon. Now, one thing I have been struggling with, goodness, I've changed a little bit how I'm filming and this is making me look so shiny. So on the subject of work, which is what this vlog is very much about, I did want to talk a little bit about whether I would make art into my job, and I have thought about it and I have sold some paintings, but I don't think I'm going to go that route, not full-time anyway and not now at this point in my life, because it's something I'm still learning, it's something I want to enjoy, and as soon as you make it into this money-making thing, it seems to change everything. Then you're working towards a specific goal, You need to pay your bills through making art, and that's just not where I want to be. Do you see what I mean? It's just brown. Everywhere you look, it's still brown. The trees are bare. The sun is glorious in its strength. It looks like all the color was sapped out of it. If you're into photography, you know when you take like log footage, which is flat, has not a lot of color in it because you're supposed to add your own color in basically after the fact. That's what life looks like around. This is the Stop, a community food center, and they do public gardens here that people work on together, and inside they have projects to help feed the community. And yeah, the little pizza oven, there's like events going on in there, classes. What a great idea to repurpose this area, which was very run down when I first moved here. They've made this now into a great community third space, whatever you want to call it, with a really good playground, ice skating rink in the winter, just a nice chill place to hang. I know we love doing a little bit of a neighborhood look around, so I appreciate these two houses. Very cute. That ivy's gonna look amazing when it fills in. Just a really nice street full of quirky, individualistic houses. But of course, also these infill houses that are not super attractive. Very modern though. They must be huge inside. Look at those windows alone. I think what I love best about this library is that it's very beautiful. It's a heritage building that they closed for a number of years to add this cubist addition, which I actually don't mind. It's not that bad. What a great view. We're on the new side of the building. And then here's the exterior of the old side inside of the new building, which is confusing, but kind of cool. However, I'm not here to look at the architecture. I'm here to pick up some sort of book that's going to inspire me. Borrowed this one before. I found a couple really promising inspirational books for my next art project, which, I don't know, stay tuned. Maybe we'll dig into them. I know a lot of you will be in here with supportive, kind comments, and there might be some spicy comments too, which I'll probably delete if they're too nasty. But I appreciate you hearing my story time and hearing me out. And you know what? I have my health, I have my family. It's all good. Thanks for watching. Consider dropping me a like if you haven't already. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.